Hey guys and gals, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everyone. Welcome back to the channel. It's blowing like 30 miles an hour outside, so we've got the shop shut down as good as it gets, and we're just gonna play around excuse me, indoors. I might be sneezing and coughing a little bit because it's dusty. We're in the middle of harvest season. It hasn't rained in weeks and it's blowing. It's significant. Might blow up a thunderstorm later, which we don't like thunderstorms, but we do need some moisture to knock down the dust and give us some drought relief. Anyway, we're gonna do some smaller things since we're cooped up indoors and don't want to open the big door and move stuff in, out, and around. We're actually gonna pay attention to Smokey just a little bit. As much as I love the nickname, and it ain't going away, it's getting bad. I mean, you've been watching. I know, it's bad. What started out was kind of like a, hey, cool little quirky nickname type adventure. Smokey's, I mean, every time we park it now, yeah, I just rolled it to where we're working on it now. It's pushing so much oil through the exhaust. It leaves a little drip. Not out of the engine. It's not leaking out of the engine. That's out of the exhaust. So yeah, we're gonna have to fiddle with it. Now, it's got good compression, good power, starts up really well. And buddy of mine, subscriber Craig, appreciate you. He says, well, maybe it's just valve seals. Maybe so. And on this little jobby, little Kawasaki FE290, I think is the model number. Anyway, it's an overhead valve 4-stroke. So we should be able to pull this valve cover off and at least get our eyeballs on the valve seals. Maybe they're missing, maybe they're just hard as a rock, I don't know. But that's where we're gonna start. I really don't think we've got oil getting to the combustion chamber elsewhere, but anything's possible. Like we said, if you go back, look up here into the previous videos, this whole thing came to be ours because it ingested a screw off of a throttle blade, butterfly blade, and that lodged in the top of the piston and seized the engine kind of sort of temporarily. So it hasn't had the best life, but it really runs well. So we're gonna try the least expensive, easiest avenue first and go from there. Hopefully we can just reduce the amount of smoke out of Smokey at least. So let's get something that you guys can sit on and watch. Everything in here is fiberglass, plastic, and aluminum, so I gotta find something metal that you can magnet you guys on. And then let's pop that valve cover and see what's going on. Alright, that should be a pretty good place for you to hang out. Let's move a couple things out of the way here. We got our breather hose. And I should note, this is a crankcase breather hose. There's no real PCV valve, but it does give a way for any combustion that gets into this valve cover to get burned back through the engine. And we've never seen any evidence of oil getting through this hose and going into the carb. So we're not too worried about that part of oil getting around. Yeah, just a little bit of oiliness there, but nothing major. If this was our problem, it'd be dripping. Excuse me, guys, sorry. Super. Oh. Wait a minute here. There. And we just got two 10mm bolts. gives us access to where we should be able to at least see down in there and get a visual on these valve seals. And yeah, I don't see a lot, but we're gonna have to go ahead and pop those retainers off. I believe this rocker shaft there's just a retainer pin. Oops, and I dropped it. Dang it. Oh, there it is. It's down there. Maybe. Well, it was right there. It is right there. Well, maybe. There we go. Okay. It's all dirty. Yeah, there it comes. Let me get a longer screwdriver. This one might be too long. Sorry. In your way a little bit. Okay, that one's off. Pull him out and put him on a rag over here. You should be able to just slide this the rest of the way out if I can get a hold of it. And then this one should come loose. There we go. Same thing. Lift him out, put him there. Rocker shaft looks like it's in really good shape. So now it's a matter of compressing these valve springs and getting the keepers off, and then we can get to our valve seals. But before we do that, we got to keep the valves from falling down into the cylinder when we do that, and that requires a tool. We will pop out our spark plug here. This has been in here for about a week is all, you guys. Jeez. So this is a lead for your standard, this one is a Mac, I think. It has the different ends for different types of spark plugs and heads and things like that. And then it has a quick coupler to connect it to the other piece of hose and the gauge. Usually these have a little Schrader valve so that they'll hold the pressure in. We took that out. And what we do then is, and most of you guys and gals probably know this trick, but maybe you're new to this and you don't. We screw this into our cylinder and we apply compressed air. What that does for us is now these valves, if we push down on this spring, the valve won't fall down into the cylinder. The compressed air is holding it there. So now I don't have a valve spring compressor specific to this engine, so we're just kind of go with something here. First attempt will be a croissant roll wrench and a magnet. Wow, those are tougher than I thought they'd be. Maybe we might have to tippy tap. Sometimes they'll get adhered to those retainers a little bit. There we go, yeah, we're good. And then we just take our magnet tool and go, come on guys. There's one. Come on guys, up here, there you go, there's two. And we can pull our spring off. Now that should be exhaust. Now we'll do the same thing over here on the intake side. Pull that spring and retainer out. We have one seal on the intake side. We don't have an exhaust valve seal, which makes complete sense because on the exhaust side there's pressure. If it was leaking here, it'd be pressure would be coming out. So we only need one seal, and I think I see evidence, you guys. The air compressor is taking a little longer than usual to air up because we've got a little leakage out of this tool here, but let's see if we can't pry this seal off. There it goes. I'd like to get this out of here without doing any physical damage to it myself, so we can inspect on it. Whoop. Sorry, I knocked it down. Here it is. I oblonged it, but let's get it over to the bench and just have a look-see compared to the new one. There's old. And we got two. I bought two because I wasn't sure. A couple different parts diagrams maybe showed that there was two. Yeah. So it's a little worn. You can probably even see the difference in diameter there between new seal and old. This one's obviously been worn on. It's still pliable, but at the same time it's oil soaked and it's starting to get a little rigid around the top. It does have the little coil spring around it, which would have been my first guess, was that spring broke and disappeared somewhere, but this is definitely in need of replacement. Let's get some oil on this one. We'll slide it on, and then we'll get this sucker put back together and see if that doesn't help or potentially cure our problem. What I like to do on these jobs, I'll just pour a little new motor oil into a cap and then just dunk that valve seal down in there. And then we'll just gently, ever so gently, push that sucker back on. And then to finally get it seated, you find the right size socket. This is a 1/4 inch drive. I don't know what this is, about 11 maybe, 11 millimeter. And it sits right on the edge of that. And we'll use that to press it all the way down on there. We might need to give it just a tippy tap. No, it's on. Okay, then spring goes back on. Now here's where some swear words might come out, because you gotta get your retainers back down in there, and it can kind of be a pain. Those are all the way on. And kind of what you can do though is you can carefully take another one. Oh yeah, it's in the groove. Okay. And just to make sure, take your little hammer . exhaust done. There we go. Okay, now we can reassemble our rocker arms and our rocker arm shaft, and we'll be in good shape. Sorry, I got excited, started putting back together and didn't get you turned on. So we were able to slide and get our exhaust on first. There's a little spacer washer that goes in between the exhaust journal, I'm going to call this, and the retainer clip. So you got to make sure you get that back in there. And then we tap this across. We got our intake on, and now we need just a little more space so we can, it bottoms out. Move our washer up onto that ridge, and we should be able to clip this guy right back in, like so. Yep. We're back together. Secure him. Breather tube back on. Okay. Our oil filler, or dipstick and filler, I guess. And our ground cable. We've got a lock washer. Oopsie. There you are. It's on. Pull our compression test hose. I'm gonna go run the spark plug under the wire wheel just a little bit to see if we can't clean some of that off, and then we'll throw it in there. That's better looking. And I don't know why I didn't bring an actual spark plug socket, so we just kind of got to go bang. I've done this a few hundred times, so 1,000 maybe, a few thousand, 10,000, a lot. We've done a lot of spark plugs. That's happy. Plug wire, and just like that, we've installed a new valve seal on the intake valve. And we'll rotate our cam into service mode, put her in neutral. Now, I'm expecting this to smoke quite a bit for a little while, but it should clear up. I guess we don't have any choice, though. It's so windy. We're going to start it up in the shop here, so prepare yourselves. Here we go. Well, we tried it. I'm gonna go ahead and back it out of here and take her for a little drive and maybe see. We need to get all that oil out of that exhaust, I think. And we'll see. Maybe it'll get better. I don't have high hopes right now though. Yeah, so I thought, well, maybe I just need to let it run. Maybe there's that muffler's full of oil and everything else, and it just needs to run and burn some of that oil off. So we made sure everything was right, went back through and double checked the valve seal and everything else, and then I just turned it on in here and let it run for a little bit. Let's turn the fan on here. Burning so much oil that it's spitting raw oil out of the exhaust. So I don't know, we've got a bad oil ring or something. I mean, the thing runs good, but it's just smoking. I got to get out of here before I get sick. We'll see what goes from here. We tried the easy way. I'm 50-50 on this, and tippy tap in the comments and let me know what you think. There's a lot of people swapping some pretty exotic engines into these golf carts, and I don't need to make a death trap, but I'm thinking 100, 150 cc four-wheeler engine, side-by-side engine, something like that. Or do we keep it stock, tear down the FE290 and you know, fix whatever's wrong, find whatever's wrong in there and fix it and put it back together stock? It's in my blood. I think we're gonna start searching for about a 100 to 200 cc 4-stroke ATV drivetrain engine, something or other. Maybe bigger. It depends on what shows up and what's available, but I got to get out of here. It definitely is still just as smoky as it's ever been. Hey guys and gals, we appreciate you all. We'll see you on the next one.